boat is kind of tied up, on the side by the dock. You back in, you quickly, because you're running now because you don't want to be the guy. You get in your boat, you fucking give it a little juice, and up onto the trailer that's kind of halfway submerged. Yeah.
I don't have the skills, so I would use the ropes of the boat.
You got to cut back.
Oh, would you pull it onto the trailer? Sometimes, like
we're using block and tackle.
Yes, exactly. And I'm trying to, and my feet are now in water, getting cut on the bottom of the fucking river.
Yeah, really smooth by the ramps. Yeah, where people throw their beer cans and bottles.
And I've gotten, my fingers are bleeding, and I'm grunting, and there's a guy standing on his boat with his hands on his hips. Like, fucking hating me.
All right, come on. I used to wait for can't back it up guy. They were the worst because you knew it wasn't going to get any faster once it got into the water.
No.
And it's like, you could see him trying to figure out if the back of my truck is going left, the trailer's going right. All right, I gotta do this, and then it's going off the side of the ramp, so he's got to go forward again, and you're just going, come on, come on, and you're just looking at your watch. Time is wasting. The sun's going down. You fucking want to get out there.
God damn it!
And once that guy told me with the hand on the bottom of the wheel, and then I would hang out the window of my truck and just look backwards, not even use the mirror because you couldn't really see.
No, the mirror doesn't help.
And just look out the back and steer it right in
really
there.
Smart,
and then getting in was the same thing. I'd back it up, take the jet ski, and just right up onto the trailer. You clip the front winch thing on there, and don't even winch it all the way up. No. Now drive that fucker off the ramp.
And then you do your
take care of your shit in the parking lot.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Because there are guys strapping their shit down on the ramp.
Yeah, they're putting the beers back in a cooler.
You could fucking do that in a parking space, you prick.
There's a guy, Coal Shoveler from Richmond. He writes, "Tell Louie that there are old retired guys that sit down by the boat ramps just to watch people like him and laugh at him." It's a hobby for these guys.
Sharing beers, laughing.
Oh, yeah.
The boat world is interesting because it's two kinds of people. There are these sort of anarchist, fuck the world people that you can tell they live on their boat and they hate you just for floating by and for not being them. And they don't pay taxes. They live on you know what I mean? They're just off the grid boat people.
Yeah.
And then there's these people that are holding on to this idea that they're Mr. and Mrs. Howell, these fucking people. Because in Hudson, this town I'm describing is a dump. It's all unemployed. There's no business up there. They have a boat club right on the river, and they're taking up the whole fucking river with their docks.
Why don't you come down to the boat club when you're
so
done?
I thought maybe I'll rent a dock from them so I don't have to launch every time. So they have all these empty space. There's just no boats there. So I go in this shitty looking boat club. It's just a fucking dump. It's like a small airport, you know?
Yeah.
Like Syracuse Airport or something. And I go in there, and there's these people in white sweaters and white shorts. And I go, "Do you rent the docks?" "You have to become a member, and you have to, you can't become a member if you don't, if you don't,
Here's some production for you.
You need a reference to become a member. Tell us a little about yourself." And I'm like, I make more than all of you motherfuckers.
Yeah, well.
This guy owns a fucking local car dealership, maybe.
Yeah.
And this cunt owns a Cumberland Farms.
That's where they go to feel important and rich.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm famous, you motherfuckers.
My word, show people, not in our club. My goodness.
How much is it to rent a little space to park your boat?
A slip.
It's by the foot. And up there, they wouldn't let me. They just wouldn't let me because I'm not a member of their community.
We know you're part Mexican.
Exactly. I don't remember what it costs. I don't remember. In New Jersey, it's vastly cheaper than New York City. You're like every hour you're sweating the hours. It's by the hour and it's by the foot and it's tons.
Oh, in New York, you can't just rent and keep your boat there all the time.
Well, if you're rich, yeah. And there's like the 79th Street boat basin.
Yeah, there's a few marinas down around Manhattan.
Like that's a public something, but that's about waiting lists and stuff like that.
How much do you think they are? I mean, is it like $50 a day? I mean, I have no concept.
I don't even remember. I never rented in New York.
It's probably so much more expensive than having a monthly parking thing in a garage. That's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people pull them out during the winter and dry dock.
Yeah.
It's the cheaper
What's dry dock mean?
You go, you play
in the water.
Yeah, it's not in the water.
I mean, but like, where do you dry dock it?
It's usually a boatyard. Yeah, a boatyard or an indoor warehouse. But then they actually take them on these big lifts and stack them on shelves in these warehouses or outside. They wrap them in plastic and shrink wrap, and then
that's what those
they
things
stack
are?
them. Yeah,
I always thought they were new boats for sale. I've seen those before.
It's a new boat for sale.
I'll have that one.
Yeah, and they stack them up, and it's cheaper, and it doesn't get as damaged. You don't have to worry about hurricanes and
dry docking. It's a lot. Could be a lot worse.
Yes, dry docking. There's another one.
Yeah,
another definition.
Two unclipped men in heat.
One with prostate problems.
Dry docking.
All right, so they'll wrap your boat in plastic. Do they come and get it off the marina for you, or you got to bring it to them?
No, I think they come and get it. Right? Yeah, I think you need a truck to You ever see those giant trucks with giant ships on the expressway?
Yes.
And you're driving, just going, "What the fuck is? What is that? That has no business being on the road."
How big is like a good size yacht? Like a good size fucking rich guy yacht?
Well, geez, they get so huge.
You start getting over 50 feet, and you're talking like. You better know how to fucking drive this thing and with everything. No. You got to know how to back it in.
You know how by the way, you know how I got back to New York, back to Hudson, because it was pitch black in some of that. I took the GPS out of my car.
Oh shit!
With a suction cup. That's what kind of I had back then. And I stuck it. I swear to God, it's the smartest thing I ever did.
No shit.
And I stuck it on the boat, and it fucking took me. It knew the contour of the river.
Yeah.
The GPS is like, dude, you're not on a road. I
Didn't
can't
have
get
you
you anywhere.
Take the fucking
but
FDR.
This is where you are. For your information, I don't know why you're here, but you're here. And there was a few times that it saved me because I couldn't fucking see, and I wasn't sure what part.
But it doesn't tell you where the rocks are.
Well, and also you can't. You have to stay within a boating. You have to
like
stay
him and Henry Fonda
there's a boating
fishing.
channel.
There's lanes.
There's a boating channel, and you have to stay within it. But sometimes you lose the buoys, and you don't. You knew, and I did have a chart. Like I can read a chart, and I know where a boating channel is. But I couldn't see. I didn't know how far I was from either shore. I'm in the middle of fucking.
It's that dark out there.
There's a bay. There's a bay right after the Tappan Zee. If you're going north, something bay that's just enormous, and you really can't see the left or the right. So you feel like you're in the ocean, and it gets really scary.
You can get turned
the
around.
GPS fucking told me right where I was, and and there was times where I was headed towards fucking land that I couldn't see because it was just
car GPS.
My car GPS got me back to Hudson.
It probably says specifically not to be used for maritime or aviation use.
Well, you can load them. You can load them with those GPSs with maritime maps. You can.
Yeah,
but I didn't have that. I used the car get you home in your car map.
I tell you, the first thing I ever did, and this was horrifically stupid. I bought a Sea-Doo, a 2-seater, sit-down jet ski, a personal watercraft, which obviously I couldn't afford. That's another story.
By the way, I know these boats I bought instead of groceries.
That's what it was.
Part of why I'm not married anymore. The one thing I'll cop to is that I did really dumb things with my money my whole life.
They wound up giving me a $10,000 credit card.
Nice.
Because I had gotten a $5,000 one and maxed it out, but I was paying the minimum.
Yeah.
So they just sent me another one and said, "Hey, here's an application." I filled it out, and I had some credit limit was $10,000.
You're a perfect customer.
Now I got a $10,000 credit limit thing. So I went right down to the fucking place where they sell personal watercraft, bought a Sea-Doo and a trailer. The whole thing came out to like $8,000. So I still had $2,000 left on my credit card.
Jesus.
And I'm paying 25% interest on a jet ski and stuff. Believe me, it was a nightmare. But I had the time of my life on that fucking thing.
Can you jet ski on the Hudson or no?
I've seen them out there. Yeah,
seen them a lot actually.
Where I went though, I wanted to get out to Watch Hill on Fire Island, so I drove out to Patchogue early in the morning, and I crossed the Great South Bay. And it was pea soup fog. I couldn't see shit. I ripped a chart. I went into a store where they sold boating charts and Hagstrom maps and looked for the page I needed and looked around and just tore it out and put it in my pocket. Wow. And I had a compass. And every like 2 minutes, I'd pull out the chart and the compass, line up which direction I was supposed to go, and just keep going. Through fog. And I could have been broadsided by a boat at any minute because I couldn't see. And then right when the fog broke, I didn't know where I was going to end up. I couldn't possibly think this was going to work. It said, "Welcome to Watch Hill." I pegged it fucking
Oh my God.
nailed
That's
Watch Hill
amazing.
from
That is
Patchogue.
amazing.
Isn't that satisfying,
And it
though?
was
Didn't
like-
you feel good?
It was like I worked, but I only did it once, so I don't know if it worked or I just got really fucking lucky.
Wow.
I would have just
I think you
drove
did.
and hoped for the best. That's the difference between you and I.
Go in one direction.
Yeah.
Every 2 minutes, and then,
No, and then
when
suddenly
you
you become
shut
hyper
down,
aware of how much fucking fuel do I have? How much
Yeah.
should I put in? And
you start thinking like shit, like because I would stop the jet ski, so I'd just be like,